Hi there. How are you?
Hello,
Fine
humans.
fellow humans doing tonight?
This is
I am-
especially funny that you're calling everyone your fellow humans because you sounded especially robotic when you said it.
Hey, I am robot. I am not a robot. I am a human, of course, as you know. I am a human, as you know. And hello, and welcome to Literarily Wasted, enjoyed by humans all over the planet.
It's true.
Yes, we too are humans.
Human.
Humans.
Human.
If you have not guessed already,
The humans.
this is our final live discussion for Matt Haig's Humans.
We're off to a great start.
Yeah.
So we discussed the first half of the book last 2 months. 2 months
ago.
Oh my gosh, what is wrong with you?
It's gonna be a good one. Mate.
I am human.
Adam's been drinking.
I have not.
He's got the sauce.
That's even
So-
better.
We discussed
Human
the first
sauce.
half of the book 2 weeks ago. Tonight is the final. We're going to discuss all of the book, The Humans, by Matt Haig. And I did not. So, how do we begin this? What would you like to start with? Impressions? We don't need a recap. We know what happens.
Yeah, we don't need a recap.
No recap. How much Australian wine has Adam had? None.
Australian.
Get it?
That's funny.
Get it?
Aha!
I
Yes.
hope you did that on purpose and didn't just spell it wrong.
So
Say that you did it on purpose because it's clever.
let's get started. I'll start
Yeah, you start.
now that I've been rambling for
Or maybe we should give
3
you a
minutes
break
and
already.
5 seconds. What?
Nothing.
What did you think of the book?
Okay, so I think this might be my favorite book that we've read so far
Really?
Whoa.
for Literarily Wasted. This was great. I kind of knew what to expect, but it was just a lovely book from cover to cover, and really, really like this. This is one of those books that was also kind of therapeutic. It was
Yeah, it was good timing.
Yeah, it's good timing. And it was probably one of those books that I just keep nearby, just to flip to that last section and look through his tips for how to do life, because that was nice. This is just a lovely book. That's all I'll say for now.
Is it because it felt like a Star Trek episode to you?
Kind of. We got other people saying this is my favorite book club, and the favorite book club book. So
Oh my gosh.
I know how to read. Cindy says this is their favorite books of all that we've read. Caitlin really liked this one. So yeah, what did you think?
I also loved it. Like I said in the last live discussion, I went in knowing this was going to be really funny. And I had no idea how charming it was going to be. And it was such a pleasant surprise, and I feel like just everything's really hard right now. And this was, like you said, it was just the right book at the right time. And I don't think there's a wrong time for this book, actually. I just loved it. It was great.
Yeah, it was in Game Club last year, we played Wander Song, and that hit at the right time. It's this feel good time. This is kind of the same for me.
What'd you guys think?
We
It's
said
freshest
y'all.
on your mind.
When did you
Um,
finish it?
I don't know, maybe 20 minutes ago. It's fine.
Oh, nice. Good job.
I too liked it. I thought it started great. I loved all the humor at the beginning. I do wish some of that. He was still discovering things throughout the book, but that kind of tapered off, and it got a little bit more introspective and just into humanity and discovering humanity a little bit more. I really liked some of the slapsticky kind of just totally alien foreign comedy that was at the beginning, but I mean that kept on like when he comes. I mean, this is more fresh on my mind, but he comes home and she's like, "Oh, how was your day?" And he's like, "Oh, I went here, I went there, I had sex with my student, and then so it's just
Had no clue.
yeah, has no clue. So I wish a little bit more of that kind of innocent, goofy comedy were in it on the tail end, but at the same time, like Adam was saying, you do get so much of, I don't know, like not life lessons, but just some good stuff. It was good. I enjoyed it. It does kind of feel like an episode of Twilight Zone or Star Trek, in a lot of ways. Is it my favorite? No, it's not my favorite, but I would highly recommend it to people for sure if they're looking for something different that's, a little bit. Look, I think all of us are at our wits' end with so many things right now in life, and so it is kind of refreshing to hear that, look, it's not all bad. There are some redeeming qualities about humanity.
It's a good reminder.
Real quick, just wanted to touch on Justin's comment from earlier about how he had to pause because he knew he was about to mess everything up with Maggie. Yeah, I was waiting for that moment because I remembered in the beginning where in the very, very beginning, he's like, I wish I could have asked Andrew. Alien Andrew was like, I wish I could have asked human Andrew questions and like actually talked to him. And I wish he had told me about Maggie. So he's like, I wish I had known. So this is not my favorite book that we have ever read, but I do think it's really, really lovely. I think it's hard for me to say that it's my favorite because so many other things that we've read, I've gone on to read the rest of the series. And so it's hard to compare, I think, a standalone book with an entire series, right? It's just two completely different worlds. You only get this is all you get. But that being said, it was really, really nice to know that I was going to get the complete story that I was supposed to all in this one little piece. And it was short. It was a quick read. Really dug it. There definitely were a lot of funny moments. I went into it thinking that it was a funny book, and it, to me, was honestly a lot more sentimental than outright funny. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, the list of advice that he left.
That's a good list.
It took me quite a few minutes to read it because after every few items, I just had to stop for a second and look around and take a second to be hold it in. Okay, keep going. Read the next few. So that really got me. I think it's lovely. I can't think of another word to describe it. It's just a really, really wonderful story. I do think, even though it's not flawless, it's one that everyone should read.
Yeah, it's just a lovely book. And the list at the end. So here's my situation. I finished it last night at about 10:45. I was awake and Christy was not, and I'm reading the rest of the book, and I'm just she's asleep, and I just wanted to be hey. Can I talk to somebody about this? But I just dealt with it by myself. It's just a good, nice book. And the short chapters.
Yes, I like that.
Very short.
I think one of the things that I wanted more of was and I know that'd be giving it away, you can't do it, but I wanted to know more about the mystery of what he discovered, and it just kind of, the more the book went on, what Andrew,
the math part.
Yes, I just wanted.
You wanted more math?
No, I wanted to know this. It's the secret, right? It's
okay.
What is the secret? What are they trying to destroy? What was this all powerful solution or thing that he came up with? So I wanted, I don't know, I wanted a little bit more of that quest to find the treasure chest kind of thing. And that kind of obviously took a sidestep because of him figuring out what it means to be human. And I get that, I respect it, but there's still that I just wanted to know.
Wait, you wanted to know what the actual
No, but I don't know.
Hypothesis was?
Yeah, I'd like to know.
We could get that prize money.
It's the fact that
Because he knows what it is.
I know, but I there's something about like they dangle that and like this mystery and people are dying. And
But it has to stay a mystery
I
because
know,
no
but
one
I just,
actually
like-
knows what it is.
That's true. If
The
they'd
answer's
solved it
not in the book.
I know it's not going to be in the book. It's just like I don't know that just kind of fell way too fast into the background for me. In some
It did. He did
regards.
like delete it. He was like, "Oh, I found the answer." It was like in the second chapter, and he was like, "And I deleted it from the laptop, and I gave it a virus. Goodbye."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the alien Andrew did talk about how when his species figured out or solved that problem, everything had opened up for them, and that's why they didn't want the humans to get it. So we kind of did have an idea, at least from what his species did, what it would have opened up for humans.
Well, I think Jeff said something earlier that maybe you can relate to about how as soon as he started to like connect with the family, like it was, he said something about it. I'll have to scroll to find it, but about like it being over at that point. Like he kind of felt like it was over then. So like you had like the story of like why his mission and why he was there, and you had a little that like we revisited it briefly in the end when the new Andrew Martin showed up. All of a sudden we got back to like some more like hard plot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of the book was once he became human, it switched. There was like a hard shift there in the sort of the direction of the story, which yeah, I can see what you're saying about how like it'd be nice to still have that, looming.
Yeah, like what does it mean like for I don't know. I if it were a continuing story, like I'd want to know about these worlds a little bit more. But I get it. It's a great single piece in itself.
I know this. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to mention they're talking about this. I laughed out loud at the virus he unleashed on the bullies. What did he change their name to? Like, I am the source of all shame,
Yeah.
or something like that. And then, yeah, that was great.
And wait, the only time they could comment anything was unless it had to include or it would change what they wrote into something else. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was great.
Yeah.
Somewhat unrelated, but tying to it. What it made, this is probably a horrible example. When he had these realizations after he deleted all evidence of the hypothesis or the whatever it is. Is that it? It's the Riemann hypothesis?
Yeah, the Riemann hypothesis.
Okay. So when he deleted all of that and he knew that he was stopping the advancement of humans. So he had that realization in the first half. Like we talked about that last time. He realized he was cutting off their advancement by deleting this thing from Earth. But then I loved how even though it was not until he became human in the second half that he realized this is a good thing because humans don't know what to do with these advancements. Like they would have all of these abilities and wouldn't be responsible with it. And all it could make me think of was the Harry Potter kid actors. Like, just because my teenager and I have watched all the Harry Potter movies recently and we were reading a bunch about it, these kids came out of nowhere and were making millions and millions of dollars doing these movies and had no clue what to do with it. And I was reading all about how the kid who plays Ron Weasley had millions of dollars. The first thing that he bought was like an ice cream truck. Because you're a kid with millions of dollars.
Sounds
and
good to me.
humans with this technology, we would be dumb children with millions of dollars. What's the first thing that we would do? Oh, let's go find another planet. Ooh, do we need to take care of our planet first? Probably. But no, we're not going to do that.
Let's launch a Tesla into space.
Like, I'm sorry. That's all I could think of is like, yes,
I mean, it's true. Science fiction deals with this constantly. Like, at least in all the science fiction that I watch, which is just Star Trek. But like science fiction, there's like this recurring theme of like humans are not ready. We are immature. We cannot handle this technology. I mean, you go all the way back to like the day the Earth stood still, where like the alien comes to the planet basically to like give humans a warning. It's like y'all are backwards and like you can't even get along on your own planet. And we're from like a conglomerate of other aliens telling you need to get your shit together, or else you're not going to be allowed in the galaxy. And like that's true.
What was the comment that you just had up there about the murdering?
Oh yeah, that's
No.
a good one.
Well, I have a question.
I don't remember what. Oh,
Sorry, I don't. If you can comment again about
Murder.
which
I'll find it. Here it is. I found it, Ashley.
Which murder specifically
The first
are
one.
you talking about?
He only killed one person.
One human. He only killed one human.
Okay. Well, if
And
we're
that was-
talking about the human, then I could see how it was brushed over a little bit because he did not have any humanity then. And it's been like a process. And he obviously, even though he didn't have humanity, he didn't feel good about what he did. I think he showed a tiny bit of remorse. And even though it was only like the tiniest hint compared to the other aliens, there was a lot because they had zip. So yes, I get that. He was a murderer, but
He was a murderer, and but the other guy came in and killed his
people
friend.
grow.
Right? He killed somebody. The other Andrew
Yeah,
came in and murdered his friend.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew 3.0.
Yeah, as I said, Missy mentioned that here, that he was
Yeah.
upset about his replacement killing Andrew's buddy.
Yeah. And he did have, I mean, he didn't like how he affected the guy's wife and watching the guy himself like go through it. He didn't enjoy that. Like there were like doubts, but yeah, it did go really quick.
Amanda says, I'm not sure it was brushed over. Part of why he healed Newton was because he killed someone.
Mhm.
Also, I think the guilt is what helped him to be brave to save Gulliver.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, he did save Gulliver from falling off the roof and
I love
taking too much.
I loved the building and the growth of that relationship a lot.
With Newton or Gulliver?
Well, I mean, of course, I love Newton. I love the jog, but no, I loved
see you.
the relationship building with Gulliver between
Mhm.
Andrew and Gulliver. Even especially after Gulliver found out that it wasn't
Yeah,
his
I
dad,
actually liked
and
it
that
better
brought
then.
them even closer, which is proof that human Andrew was a poop.
Big old poop.
But like, yeah, no, I. Okay. I need to think of something.
Why
we
does
think of
loud
the happy-
sounds disable the aliens? Asks Mike.
It wasn't loud sounds. It was like
Was it like the
radio
frequency?
waves. Yeah, because it was the
Transmitter or
radio and the TV
Because
that he had on.
Does TV have a frequency? I don't know anything about TV.
I don't believe that you can adjust the frequency of a TV.
But then
There's
the
something about the technology.
and the volume did make a difference too. So I don't know.
Maybe it's the he's setting the volume to the right, like sine wave.
No, Amanda Seckle says radio waves.
Radio waves.
But the TV did it too.
Mm-hmm.
So does the TV have?
Maybe
does
it's
the TV have
broadcast.
waves?
It's broadcast.
Like local news.
Jay says it's a frequency they were transmitting at.
Mm.
It messes with their technology. Volume is amplitude. Yeah, it's the sine wave.
Oh, that's true. It only messes with. Oh, my knee fell asleep. Sorry. It only messes with the technology in their left hand, right?
Mhm.
It's not like it made him weaker or not an
No.
alien. It just messed with the tech. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
I got it.
Which is interesting technology. Needed no explanation, but I would have loved to see that in action a little bit more, just for fun.
Oh, Mike's
Whoops.
figuring out the flaws.
Radios just receive those waves. They don't broadcast it. Yeah.
Might be one that you shouldn't think about too hard.
Way to go, Matt Haig.
Okay, well, none of us, but it's alien technology. Let's not pretend like we understand
No, that's a good
how the
point.
alien technology works. I mean, hello, he brought someone back from the dead. We obviously don't know how the left hand works.
Yeah, left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. Did this part make you?
I did not like this part. But what bothered me more was that he killed the other alien and then said a whole bunch of stuff and then burned his hand off or whatever.
So that I could hear him.
So they definitely would have heard him. They would have heard everything he said.
But they were in the.
Oh.
He said all the stuff when they were in the technology, the radio triangle. So I think he was counting on that.
That actually really helps.
And then the purple guy shriveled up, and then he burnt his hand, which was, yes, very cringy, but also a necessary step. It could have been worse. I honestly got super scared when he was saying to Gulliver, like, give me a knife, any knife or whatever. I was like, he's about to chop some hands off.
Yeah.
I thought so too, yeah.
I was like, it's my hand now. I was looking forward to that. But
I thought I was going to take it and slap him with it.
For all the things, the Matt Haig got wrong. I don't know. I keep wanting to call him Will because we read Will White. Oh no!
Oh no!
we read Will White.
Will
And we just appreciate how either like well researched or smart this man is. Like for all of the things that he was able to include about math and science and poetry and like all of the the arts and like this guy, like, and he had to like write it from the perspective of an alien who knows so much more than us. But like I was very impressed with just how much like research and stuff he was able to put in about like history and like from Isabel's stuff and science and math and just an art. Like it was just, I was like, man, if I wrote a book, I wouldn't even know to put that stuff in there.
Yeah.
So when I was looking around, I like to Google each book just to see what's out there. His website actually came up, of course, and he has a really, really lovely paragraph about this book on his website. And he does not have a paragraph written for every single book on his website, but there is one for this. And I think it's really lovely. So he said, "This is the book I am most proud of. I have never written anything like it and probably never will again. I have no idea if you'll like it. I really hope you do. I'm a nervous wreck about this one. I don't really know why. Well, I do, because it is personal. I put absolutely everything I had into it. So if people don't like it, then they don't like me, because all the best things I have to offer the world are inside its pages. I don't want to tell you it's a book that features an alien in it, because you might not like books with aliens in it. And I don't really. It's a love story and a murder story and a what are we here for story. It's about humans. That's why I came up with the title, Humans.
See? Well, then I like you, Matt Haig.
Will.
But he even read, I hope y'all read like the last couple of pages too. Like he had a really lovely thing. Oh my God, I can't stop saying the word lovely.
Lovely.
The last 2 pages, where he talks about how long it took him to write this, because he was in a dark place. Like this was born out of his depression. And if you haven't read those last 2 pages, I mean, you should have. It's like right after the last page. I thought it was another chapter and I was really disappointed it wasn't, but whatever.
Did not get that in the audiobook.
You can read it.
Yeah, I also I wanted another chapter and got the author's notes, and I was like, oh, but I'll read it. And I was like, oh.
That being said, I clicked something.
You're still here. I can still see you and hear you.
This actually, so I have a really horrible habit of I don't read chapter titles.
Oh, you should have.
No, I did for this one, but let me tell you, I had to go back every single time because I'd realize, I skipped one, and I'd have to go back and read it. Because normally, especially when they're just, a couple of words, it's like a little header or whatever with the number, I tend to like just blow through the book and I never even like glance at the chapter titles. But this one, it was so important and I had to go back, and it's just, does anyone else do that? Maybe
Kira. Whoa, hang on. I didn't mean to click on that. That's a lot. Kira's just said same, but I'm not sure what she's responding to. Sorry, Alex. This is your thing.
I didn't know enough about her to think that, but I thought it was interesting that one, we always think aliens are green or gray, so it was like, oh well, you dumb humans were purple. And also,
this is a reference to Emily Dickinson using purple a lot in her, or violet a lot in her poetry.
Purple is royalty, and that fits the species that takes it upon themselves to go to other planets and prevent them from. That's true.
Yeah,
That's
they
a
definitely
nice
had a thing
one.
for purple and rain. Purple rain.
Well, they don't. They have a bad thing for rain.
Yeah.
Everything is violet.
Yeah, she was saying the same for being bad about reading chapter.
Yay! I'm not the only one. I mean, I'm sorry that we should practice. We'll get better.
I mean, Prince kind of was an alien.
Huh?
Was he in the Men in Black wall of aliens with like Sylvester Stallone and Michael Jackson?
I don't remember.
He was
That's-
definitely one of a kind.
But purple was always made out of snotty sea slug slimy stuff. Now you're accountability buddies. So again, EJ, next book we read when we read
Did you read all the chapters?
the
Ooh,
hike.
do they have?
Do they even have chapter headings?
When y'all talk about the book for
When you read The
Yes.
Expanse, you got to know the chapter titles because that tells you who's
Dude, this
True.
font is
who it's
big.
about.
I like
Yes,
this font.
Natalie, Leonardo da Vinci was an alien.
Yes, he was not just an alien; he
Yes.
was one of them. He was a Vonager.
A Vonnegut.
I don't know why, but that one got me. So, it was like every third or fourth one would give me that little hitch for a second. And Leonardo da Vinci, I don't know why, but I was like,
That one got like in a cry
I
way.
don't. Well, once you start getting upset at the first 50 of them, and it just keeps going, it like
Did just keep going.
snowballs.
I thought you meant it got you, and like you were like and then you read that when you're like, and then went back to.
No, I was like, it's because his art was so great and he was so smart, and he's too smart to be human. Yeah,
Oh,
no.
this-
Eventually, they all turned into that. Me being like,
I did appreciate that every once in a while one of these numbered things was funny. Like just you're like, oh, that's a good thing. And then it's like, don't bother going into space until you can leave the solar system. Then go to Zabai.
I did like that.
Well, and someone pointed out in the group that he gives 97 pieces of advice for humans, and 97 is a prime number. That's why they stopped on 97.
Ha! That got her. You got her. You got her with that prime.
Yeah, some people.
Prime numbers are so beautiful.
Yeah,
They are.
Some people were like, "Why couldn't they just do 3 more to get to 100?" But that's why he had a very good reason.
It's such
That's
a
so
pure number.
stupid.
Matt Haig, you're such a smart guy.
So a lot of people want to know what your favorite advice for a human was, or what your own advice would be. So
Oh, God, I'd have to look at them.
yeah, think about it. But Carrie Fleming said her favorites are 29, 48, 52, and 75. Let's see. If there is a sunset, stop and look at it. Knowledge is finite. Wonder is infinite. 48. No two moralities match except different shapes so long as they aren't sharp enough to hurt. 52. If you're laughing, check that you don't really want to cry, and vice versa. That one hurts a little.
Wait.
Oh. 75. Politeness is often fear. Kindness is always courage, but caring is what makes you human. Care more, become more human.
Ooh, that one hits hard right now.
Man, let's think. I not only dishes out like solid nuggets of advice, he dishes out 97 of them.
Yeah.
Some of them are very character specific, but
So Jay would add never eat yellow snow.
Nice.
Solid.
Oh, yep, right there.
yeah.
In all caps.
Okay.
Don't make that face or it'll stay like that.
I was so happy to see that line finally, because at the very, very end of the book, towards the end, because I had no clue. Y'all, when I posted on, what month is it? On August 1st, when I posted the dumb little video of the glass of wine and peanut butter, I had no clue what that had to do with this book. I needed an idea for the book, and I Googled some quotes, and that was one of the quotes was like, white wine goes great with peanut butter sandwiches. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And I was like, all right, well, I've got peanut butter. And I was so happy because we kept reading through the book and I was like, he hasn't said it yet. He hasn't said it yet. What if someone made that up and it wasn't from the book? And I just, and then it finally happened. I was like, aha! It's like when they say the title of the movie in the movie.
Oh,
Oh, it's got the title of the movie. They do that a lot in Ghostbusters.
Because they're Ghostbusters.
Exactly.
And Bustin makes them feel good. Sorry.
Yeah, now we have to pay them.
Numbers.
Yeah,
Dear.
I love them. Let's see. Lisa magazine, hers were number 30 and number 31, which is don't aim for perfection. Evolution in life only happen through mistakes. And 31 is failure is a trick of the light.
Failure is a trick of the light.
the dog.
Oh yeah,
Jeff,
sorry.
school is a joke, and you are almost to the punchline.
Yes.
So many good ones.
There really are so many. Like, I don't know. I think honestly that was kind of the pinnacle of the book for me. Like,
Yeah, it was
it's
good.
like he's learning. To be fair, some of the advice is like, oh, nope, timeline's wrong in my head. Some of the advice in there was like surprisingly deep for someone who's still learning about this planet. But I chose to suspend my disbelief and just enjoy it because to me, it was beautiful. It was the most beautiful part of the book. And I love that, on a separate note, I love that everything is math. Like, not in real life, but in this book, I love that technology is math and literally all the advancements of what they do, everything comes down to math.
Well, you even said literature is math. Like just everything is math.
I just thought that was really interesting.
Did we say 30? I think 30.
Yeah,
is
we
more-
did.
Yeah.
Lisa magazine said that one.
Don't aim for perfection. That one.
Yeah. So this was like, I was not expecting it. I was like, oh, okay. And then it just kept going. And I was like, oh man, it reminded me of a less cheesy version of that. I don't know if y'all remember this from the 90s or early 2000s. Baz Luhrmann made a song or something like that. It was like always wear sunscreen, but it was just like music with snippets from a graduation speech. Did anybody remember that? No?
No.
Nobody remembers? Oh, no. Okay.
I mean,
Nope.
Gotta Google
I
it
do.
now.
I love Brandy's comment. I'd love to have them framed. That's a great idea.
It was Baz Luhrmann, right?
Yeah.
I can totally see typing these up, and that would be a cool print for the office.
mhm.
Yeah.
Girls to be human. Oh,
Well, I think all of us, most of us, really love that chapter. And the other chapter, Katie Ellen mentions, is this one. It's How to See Forever, and a couple of people mentioned this one actually. And
Everybody remembers the sunscreen song.
it's the idea that it is such a miracle that you exist, as your possibility of existing is so low. It's just, I really like that too. And we were talking about that earlier when he tells Isabel, it's impossible that you even exist. Or what did he say?
Well, he was thinking it that how impossible it was for her to exist, and then went through all the kind. It was like this. There's this many eggs and this many sperm and this many universe people and
and every time that many generations,
Mhm.
yeah.
and it
so,
all led to you.
You are impossible. You are an impossibility, which it's such a novel way of looking at things. It's a bit of an optimistic spin. There's that, and then there's the whole nihilist, nothing you do matters, and you are the most insignificant thing in this universe. There's just the opposite of that, which is nice to hear every once in a while. Thanks.
Well, that kind of reminds me, I don't even remember where I heard or saw this, but everyone thinks that what they do really doesn't matter or change things. But then when we have movies and media that people go into the past, they're so scared to change even one thing because they know that every little thing could have such a huge consequence. It's just kind of the difference between those.
Yeah, we watched the first Marvel What Ifs last night, and that was kind of cool. same thing. One decision changes and sparks a whole
Could
new
drastically change. Yeah, that was
timeline, yeah.
really cool.
The old butterfly effect.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because, Chrissy, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, a lot of people have been sharing a meme where it's like, yes, people don't want to change things in the past, but how it affects our present. People like won't do anything now because they're like, oh, well, my actions, what is that going to do? It could do everything.
Yeah.
You just might not be there to see it.
Yeah. And Natalie, I love this.
Me existing is impossible. Not only that, but there's two of me. Hi, Justin.
Maybe he
For
thinks there's two of him.
No, there's definitely two of me.
For anyone who doesn't know, Adam and Justin are twins.
Yeah.
It's really weird. If you shouldn't have said anything. Should have just pretend. Let's just move on. Did anyone else get really sad about Newton's arthritis coming back?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay. If he had died in this book, I would have liked it less.
Yeah, no, don't kill the dog.
So thanks, Mr. Haig, for
Look, we all know
not
what happens
bringing
when you
that
kill
up.
the dog. There's a whole series of movies
Yeah.
with John Wick.
Yeah,
Not
we
a
would
fan.
all be John Wick.
And Dan, I love this part too. This was like right after we started reading the second half again, I think. And I love that whole thing. It was just so funny and perfect.
Yeah, and he does so many things without actually meaning to. It's because he doesn't understand. So maybe the takeaway is like, stop trying to understand so much.
Well, and also, I mean, his number one on his advice for a human is shame is a shackle, free yourself. And I think that's a big part of it because people limit what they do and who they are just because they're worried about, what people are going to think of them.
Constantly.
In that same vein, though, like, yes, shame is a shackle, but also you should still wear clothes.
I mean, he did learn that.
I mean, if TikTok is any indication, the shackles of shame are coming off all over the place.
I mean, was that not one of the items, though, where he was like, but you should wear underwear?
It was something about clothes. It was on the
Yes.
top left.
You're like,
top
they're
left of the
dumb,
page.
but you should wear them.
Oh, wear clothes by all means, but remember, they are clothes.
Yes.
That's number 17.
Yeah, which is why I only wear shirts with Mario or Ghostbusters on them.
That's true. Or Star Trek.
Or Star Trek.
Or Cyclops.
The further we get into this pandemic, the my clothes options seem to just like I don't even know where my button-up shirts are at this point.
You're wearing my t-shirt.
I'm wearing the t-shirt that I earned.
I got the extra large so I
thank
could have
you.
a sleepy shirt.
Well, anyway, this is special. Y'all gonna see this logo coming up. That broken news.
I have no shame wearing Cyclops on my shirt.
Oh God, him in the Cyclops costume.
Go look at our top 5 moments video.
Oh my God.
It's in that.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about the shackles of shame?
I would buy that shirt. Dan.
The headpiece was so tight that even after you took it off, you had this
just
huge
ring.
line
Yeah.
across your head for
My face was like,
an hour. Okay.
oh, that was a good time. Halloween's coming back up.
That was honestly the best part of that month because the book was not it.
No, was that 2 years ago? That was 2
Interview
years
with the
ago.
vampire.
Almost,
God.
yeah.
The humans. What did you have a thing? What were you going to say?
Oh, I really want to talk about the end. Like, what did y'all think about the end where he goes away for a year?
Was it a year? Was it just a year?
I thought it was a year.
I don't remember reading it like a time
I might
I
be
don't-
wrong.
span.
I don't know how long. It was long enough for a lot of growth
Change
to
and-
happen.
yeah. I think it was good for him. He got to go live and be on his own and try to figure it out that much more. And I like that it. I like that it left it kind of open and you didn't really see what happened next. So you get to kind of infer, based on the characters and what may happen.
Yeah, Mike said it very melancholy. I agree. I thought it was melancholy. I thought that it, it was kind of like this, like, I don't know, for lack of a better term, like romantic comedy type moment where you're just like, just go talk to her.
You know what ending it reminds me of is like Big. She drops him off and then he's walking away and then he turns into the kid again.
Don't like that.
And then she's like, "Oh no, I just did that kid. That's messed up."
Okay, gross.
There was a thing for.
It's not funny. It's really gross and disturbing. And
it's a great movie.
The 90s made awful.
I love that movie so much.
Rick is speculating here, but it was like, he went away for a while, and I definitely, like, it took a long time for him to kind of, like, even in terms of like how much time in the book was devoted to it, which I thought was okay because like it really like hit home the whole like distance makes the heart grow fonder kind of deal.
But they all needed to heal. I felt like it was really important. They all needed to not only like mentally process, the humans needed to mentally process what on earth just happened, what they went through. That's like mind shattering. But also, like, I think it was good. He needed to leave. They needed to heal. He needed to learn how to be alone as a human. And honestly, I loved reading about that part when he talked about how he would go watch sunsets and what he would do and how like he knew like he had to really be alone. Like he couldn't make friends and how he'd wake up crying. Like that all seemed really believable to me as someone who like was learning how to be a human. I thought it was great, even though it was like not really fun to read. But I think that was necessary. I don't think I would have bought it if he had just stayed and they just had like a life together.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Growth.
Like, and I especially felt like Isabel really just needed that time. Someone said it in the comments that you had on the screen, but like, yeah, she needed to get over all that. Her husband got replaced by an alien.
And she really, and even as awful as he was, she did love him.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love that she did get that time and that space to be able to figure it out. The only thing I felt sad about was that he didn't keep up with Gulliver. Like, I felt like they should be communicating through like email or Facebook or something.
Yeah, I mean, they did have that nice little moment where Gulliver was walking Newton, and you could tell that Gulliver seemed to be in a better place mentally.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And Newton, despite his arthritis, still went for the ball. So
I mean, that was in the list of things that he told him to do. He said, walk Newton. He likes doing it. So Gulliver was like, he was doing all the things that his fake dad told him to.
Yeah, I was glad he snubbed Maggie too.
Maggie.
Maggie.
Yeah, but I don't blame her as so much as I blame Human Andrew. Human Andrew is a jerk.
I could blame them both. I have two hands.
Yeah, I mean, she was aware of the situation.
Yeah, she freaking laughed. Like when he was like, I'm going to go home, she was like, have fun with your wife.
He's like, okay. And he laughed. He was like...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because he laughed and he was like, oh, you're laughing too. He was like, oh, I'll laugh also. Haha, yes, okay.
She's like, I don't feel like orgasming. Bye.
No, thanks. I have a tummy ache.
I thought it was going to kind of do the same thing. I thought it was going to pull like a K-Pax. Like, is he alien or is he just a crazy man?
I would have been angry. I would have been very angry if that had been a twist in this book.
Yeah. So Adrian Lamb asked, what made him fall in love with his family? Just that he finally had someone that cared about him specifically as an individual, or because they taught him about Earth, because being in a human body allowed him to feel emotion? What? Yeah,
that's a good question. And I don't know if I can like pinpoint like exactly what it was.
And I want to know how faithful the copy was of Andrew, because
sorry, Jeff.
They copied Andrew. They copied Andrew completely, other than like his memories, right? So like, I wonder if there was already something there.
Well, the human body's physiology allows you to experience emotions.
Well, and she talked. He obviously loved her at some point in the beginning. Human Andrew loving Isabel, and she told that story about how he waited in the rain for her for their first date, and so yeah, maybe genetically, if that was ingrained in human Andrew, maybe some of that passed on. But to be fair, he did also find Isabel completely repulsive the first time he saw her. I don't know.
True.
I kind of, if I had to guess at my opinion of the answer, I would think that it was because he came from a place where that didn't exist. And it kind of makes me, because I love connecting things to other things. It makes me think of The Good Place. I'm going to spoil it real hard here. So if you haven't watched the end of The Good Place,
Earmuffs.
Unplug your headphones for a second.
Are we going to watch it ever?
Are you going to hold up your hand when you're done?
Yes, I will hold up my hand when I'm done spoiling The Good Place.
It's a good show, so I would,
just
if you haven't seen it, I would just
mute me now.
earmuffs.
Okay, so at the end of Good Place, stop
I
it.
muted you.
Stop
I
it.
muted
Had to
you.
mute what? Okay, so that at the end of Good Place, when they go to heaven and they realize everyone's turned into this brainless zombie, it's because they're happy. They have everything they want. Everything is peaceful, perfect, consistently forever. And that's not heaven. It doesn't work anymore. And the only thing that really made people find joy again in life is to know that an end was possible. And that's how I relate it to this. He lived in a world that was considered heaven. Everything was perfect. But that means there's no real joy because you can't feel the opposite of joy. And that's the end of The Good Place talk. I'm done spoiling
You
things.
should watch.
But you should watch the show. It's
Yeah, I mean, you don't know if all you ever know is this, and you got to have the opposite to know the opposite. It's a necessity.
sorry, just the
Yeah,
way
you
you
gotta
said
have
it.
a shitty week,
But yes.
and
Yeah.
then you really appreciate the good week.
What? Which one?
What?
Christy's
What?
telling me to scroll. What?
Oh, that one.
Which one? This one? How many
Sorry,
are
Emily.
going to read more Matt Haig?
I am.
I'd
You
like
mean
to.
Will?
I've never
Will
read
Haig?
anything. This is the first
Matt Haig.
thing that I've read from
I've
him.
never heard of this human in
But
my
this
life.
definitely made me want to read.
Yeah,
more from
I
him.
like his cover art in the back of that. And you look at all of his cover art; they all look.
That's
nice
what
and
makes you
cohesive.
want to read more?
Yes, yes, and maybe I
It
should
is
have
good
my
cover
own
art.
Okay.
my own channel where I just talk about cover art because I judge books by their covers. Look, they're nice. They're
I mean, everybody does. Come on.
they're nice. They tie in.
Oh, Brandy, I'm so sorry.
There's purpose to them.
She muted me and then the subtitles automatically came on.
Oh no.
Close your
You
eyes.
still need to watch it though.
Yes.
That wasn't super spoilery.
Nah.
You still need to watch
Kind
it.
of.
Here's a big
Moving
one.
on.
So I saw Andrew's experience as being similar to the main character in The Giver. He seemed to delight in the novel experiences of physical pain, love, belonging, loss, hurt, all the colors of the human experience, all of a sudden available to him and out of reach by all other Vonadorians. I have not thought of The Giver in quite some
Oh
time.
man, it's such a good book.
That book also makes me cry a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Since Miss Norton's class.
Oh, I had Miss Norton too. She was such a good English
She was the
teacher.
best. Ms.
Such
Norton,
a
are you
good-
watching? If you're watching,
We were your students, and you made me love to read,
you are my favorite teacher.
even though you thought all my poetry was real bad. That's okay. It was.
I want to read your poetry.
Nope, burned it all. That's fine. Yes, Brandy,
is
good,
not
thank
good.
you.
Yes,
Yeah,
the dog. The dog cover is the cover.
Well, there's two. There's this one that has a little dog, and
A
then
wee
there's
dog.
a
Oh,
big
that's
dog
true.
cover too.
The big dog cover's not. It's good, but I like the.
Yup.
Miss Norton. If you didn't have Miss Norton, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your school.
Yeah, it
existence
didn't have.
because it's- well, I'm sorry.
Okay. Maybe you would have read more if you had had her. She made it fun and great.
Adam-
Did she give you
Adam didn't-
pizza?
Adam
And a
didn't
button.
read until we started Literally Wasted.
Well, then you didn't pay enough attention in class.
I read in her
Probably
class though.
true.
I read all the books.
She did. She picked good stuff.
So, back on track. Willa
Yes.
Brantley said, I'd love to hear what this quote means to people. Love is what the humans are all about, but they don't understand it. If they understood it, then it would disappear.
Oh, that's so deep. I can't even find it.
Like,
It's Wednesday
if we
night.
understood love, it would disappear.
Yeah.
If we,
Love is what the humans are all about, but they don't understand it. If they understood it, then it would disappear.
That's too deep for me right now.
yeah,
Sorry.
no,
It's been a long couple weeks.
I'm just, nope.
I can't
say
either.
it sounds lovely, but I don't know what it means.
Yeah, I
But
don't understand
apparently
it, so that's why
if I
it's
knew
still
what
here.
it means, then it wouldn't. Yep.
Yeah, maybe it's a good reason. Or maybe it's
That's
good
a
that we
good thing
can't
to
talk
know.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
just like the Riemann. We're not supposed to know. We're not supposed to know.
like but it sounds right, right? Yeah, it's a good. I think it's a good quote. Which
like
one? This one?
Bethany's.
If we understood it, it would be too rational, logical, and not subjective and emotional. That's
The-
the miraculous nature of love. It's impossible, but still happens. Love is by nature inexplicable because it's not knowledge; it's feeling. I get it. I mean, like, once you're able to understand and quantify something, it loses its. It just is. I guess. I don't know. That's
I don't know.
it's complicated. But is not love just a kaleidoscope of different chemicals inside the human brain producing different physical chemical
Okay.
reactions?
I guess so.
Sure. We know what it is.
Yeah, but the human brain is the human. I say this every time. We are only brains. So if it's in there, it's real because this is all that we are. Everything else is a stupid meat puppet. So that because the brains don't have legs.
Love is a battlefield.
Do Alex Pursley's.
Thanks to all the smart people in this group. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, no, appreciate it. No,
People are
these
talking about
discussions
their
are always really helpful.
high school poetry. I remember one time in my high school poetry class, they were like, bring in some really meaningful song lyrics and let's analyze it as a poem. And we were supposed to bring in and we were supposed to recite it to the class as if it were a poem and then analyze it. I did the theme from Cheers.
Everybody knows your name.
Yep.
How'd that go?
At first, I
probably
thought
not
it was
well.
a theme that didn't have words, and I was like,
I
Adam.
literally got up in front of everybody and I was like, making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot.
I mean, I actually don't think that's a bad one.
Wouldn't
Better
you like
than,
to get away?
It's better than Fresh Prince.
That song gets weird though.
It
Not
has
the Fresh
so
Prince
many
one, the
more
Cheers.
verses. Y'all should
But
Google
yeah,
it sometime. There's
the
so many
Fresh Prince
verses
one?
that
Oh
aren't
my god. I did
Right?
Fresh Prince.
so long.
I was on a cruise with Christy and I was like, I'm gonna sing the Fresh Prince theme song for karaoke. And then it was the entire song, and it was like he's just detailing
long.
his day. He's like, and I got to
Walked
the
in
airport
the
and got out of
kitchen,
my
I
car.
opened
And
the fridge and I took out a soda. Then I opened the soda. Then I sat at the table.
walked into the airport, checked my bags. They said, how many bags you got to check? So I said, just one. And so they put a tag on the bag and then put it on the conveyor belt.
You should Google it sometime. It really does. It has probably 5 more verses that aren't in the TV intro.
Nice.
It's funny. Goes on.
Anyway, I've not read much of Emily Dickinson. That if we're going back to poetry, it seems like I should read more Emily Dickinson. What? What
I
are you
like
pointing
Jennifer Colton's quote.
at? Jennifer. This one.
In math, everything can eventually be broken down into an algorithm, but it is very complicated. So yes, everything in the world is math, except
Love.
love. Love's not math.
Wow.
That's why he doesn't get it. He only gets math.
You heard it here, folks.
Love is not math.
Love is not math. That would
Oh,
be.
that's why I'm bad at math.
Wait, I had to flip that in my head. What? Okay. Aww.
Uh,
Your Mike said, "I don't care for human poetry." Whose poetry do you?
He
care
likes
for?
Vogue on poetry.
No one likes that.
don't care. Yeah,
Mike
I'm really
does.
not big into poetry. Really. One time in a different, it might have been the same high school class, probably a different one. We had to write a poem, and I just put random words together, and I feel like I got a pretty good grade.
Nice. Nice.
I was a terrible high school student, except in Miss Norton's class, because Miss Norton, you were awesome.
Miss Norton was middle school.
Did she think?
Oh
you
yeah,
were-
she was middle school.
Did she think you were?
She's-
awesome?
I would like to think that she did. I would feel very bad if now I learned in this stage of my life that Miss Norton did not think I was awesome. That would seriously set me back.
No, there's no way she remembers who I am, but that's okay. There was a kid in my class named Michael who wrote fantastic poetry, and she would read it all out loud all the time, and we'd always be like, oh,
Michael, God, just quit it. Stop it, Michael.
stop being better than everybody else.
Well, we're 3 minutes away. Do we have any more discussion topics for the humans? You good?
I'd recommend it to people for sure.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I would absolutely recommend it. I'm recommending this to everybody here who's already read it. I really like this book, and like it's my favorite book. I'd say it's up. It's high on the list for me. I said it's my favorite. It just we've read some really cool books. Old Man's Work. It was really cool. Like it was fun. We've had fun reads, but this one got to me in like an emotional way. So like it wasn't just like a fun like popcorn. That's a song. It wasn't just a fun popcorn book. It was like it was touching and it was lovely and it was introspective and it was thoughtful. So
sorry, I just saw Justin's comment about Ms. Norton.
Oh man, Miss Norton was the best.
To go find her and be like, it's okay. I'm a doctor now.
Mm-hmm.
I make funny videos.
I will say, yes. Is it I do think, is it going to be like a attention gripping novel? It's it's not the most exciting book in the world, but I do think it's a really, really important one for people to read, especially right now when I feel like a lot of people are forgetting that we are all humans.
Telling you, the alien invasion's the only thing that's gonna pull us together at this point.
I don't know.
Bring on the Formics.
Julie and Dan are thinking about gifting, and Julie did gift it. Dan's thinking about gifting it to somebody else.
This will be a good giftable book. Yeah.
This is in this time it was
parents.
It was very therapeutic. I miss Norton.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Can we track her down? We need to get Miss Norton on in this book club.
She's still alive?
I don't know, but if she is, she needs to be in this book club.
Should do it, Adam.
Well,
I hope she's still alive.
That was a while ago, though.
It was, but
I really like this book. It was great. I'm really glad we read it, and I'm really glad it turned out to be what it is.
Good choice, everybody.
It was your second choice.
Yeah.
Just to remind you that it was your second choice, and we picked it anyway.
Oh,
I liked it way better than Solus.
Yeah, y'all picked Solus number 1.
Aren't y'all glad that we did a runner-up month? I know it's not everyone's jam when we do that, but this one, worth it for the runner-up for sure.
It was therapeutic. It had some therapeutic elements to it, and I appreciated that about it. You can definitely feel that this is the authors, putting a lot of themselves into this. I knew that even before I read that, or you read that quote from him. Two's choice is the first. Is right. Got to get that in there. What is this you're holding up? Is this September? What month are we in?
This is August, so that's for September.
Man, I just Porky Pigged a little bit.
September 15th and 29th. Mark your calendars.
Wow.
That is the 3rd and 5th Wednesday of September. I don't remember what the midway point is. It's like part 2 or something like that. But it'll be on the new cover photos. I'll update those tomorrow. But this is the book for next month.
The Hike.
15th and 29th. 15th and 29th.
What's the stopping point for the
I
first
just
half?
said I don't remember. It's like part 2 or
Oh, that's right. It's a part, isn't it?
Yeah.
yeah,
I think
It's
because
a
I was
shorter
really
book.
yeah. It's this.
I. Period.
1-1. Part
Don't-
2.
Don't read past this point.
No
LLO.
spoilers. Past
Past
that point. Past that point.
Yeah. Don't
Okay,
do it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, wait. We do have one tiny little update. Do you want to get?
Yes. So, y'all, we are still waiting on some of our merch, and we apologize for that. Between a just backlog of a supply, like global supply and even short supply and demand, and then our vendor, unfortunately, this past week has had a family member have tested positive for COVID. So I think we're supposed to have all that stuff Monday. And it's so close. So y'all, thank you for all your patience. We're going to get us all out ASAP. But yes, so it's all coming. It's going to look fantastic. And we may go ahead and start getting some of the stuff that we can fulfill out. But again, thank you for your support. Thank you for your patience. And we guarantee you will very much like all of the wonderful merch that we will shower upon you.
Just Lysol everything.
No,
after you
it's
get
going to
it.
be fine. This,
No, I just meant.
I know.
We got some of your stuff back there. We showed it last time. It's in these boxes.
Yes.
So
So it is all coming.
It's coming in, and we'll get it to you. It's going to be awesome when we do.
And who knows what else we will have on the horizon in terms of other fun, cool, engaging projects. You know, we're always trying to think of neat, fun, cool things to do.
Let's
with
make a
all.
TV pilot.
Y'all already did that.
Yeah, I feel like I just did that.
Literally wasted the
We're
TV
not even
show.
done yet. Okay.
6 seasons in a movie.
All right. Thank you to Matt Haig. Moving
Matt
and
on
Will.
to
Drew
Okay.
Magery.
Drew McGarry.
Magery.
Drew
Magery.
McGarry. Remember, I had to
McGarry.
look it up on YouTube.
No, Talia's right. I'm wrong, but it will always be Magery in my mind.
Yeah, so tell Matt Haig we love him.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching. This was a fun one. I'm really glad we read this, and I'm glad we were able to read this together. So until
Now.
next time, Drew McGarry, The Hike, and we'll see you soon. I want to wave. I can't click now.